Good evening and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP and joining me this fine evening on Wednesday night is my good man, Mr. Ryan Clifford. Well, Ryan, we're back on again, mate. Feels like 2 days I've not been off since Monday night. The time has went that fast. You're smiling again, me man. That can only mean one thing. Your half 10 show must be going like a fair, as they say. How you doing?
It's going well, mate. And I've got a new do. I'm doing the skin fade now, mate. I'm getting older now. I need to get the grey hair away now. So, say to the barber, hook me up, and he's hooked me up. So, all good, mate. Celtic's obviously got a big game the weekend, mate. So, it's always these. You'll probably see in the next 2 or 3 days. There'll be some sort of media story coming out. There always is in these big games. Either somebody's injured or somebody's gone or Brendan's gone, and there's always somebody's gone. Morelos is gone for 80 million. There's always something in these weeks, mate. So there's always something to look forward to in the build up to the game at the weekend. Obviously, like you said, Mccowan on the Scotland squad. Allocation's back, so there's plenty to talk about, mate, as well. So looking forward to the chat, mate. Looking forward to speaking to a good self, and hope all the viewers are very well.
100%, mate. You talk about skin fades. I've been doing that for I was 20 man, I think, man. I've been going and getting skin fades. I fell out of the barber. I went to the barbers and I said to the guy, give me some highlights. And he gave me these videos of old haircuts. I was like, what's going on?
See how in relationship people go and cheat and all that, right? See me go and cheat in your barber, it's bad, isn't it?
Bad, man.
You can't go and cheat in your barber, man. You end up getting...
Bad, man. I tell you what, I've all got these Ring doorbell apps and all, by the way. And see these Ring doorbell apps, they're all picking you up, the motion detecting and all that. You walking into another barber. Go to that shop, is it Alanya?
Alanya.
And, they're all connected. They've all got one infrared camera system that always checks you. Yeah, good evening to everybody as well that's joining us across the platforms. Hope you're all well on this Wednesday evening. We'll come to a couple of comments. This one was in really early tonight. Theo Isaac, a couple of thumbs up in 100. Hope you're well, pal, if you're watching. A Celtic fans view, he says, I see KT is playing part of a front three for Arsenal tonight. Yep, just seen that before we came live, pal. Very interesting, actually, because he's not really been getting a sniff. No doubt we can come to that at some point during the show. And evening JP, Ryan, and the chat. G-Doc in as well. Evening all. Plunge. Evening Fenians. He likes his Fenian part of Plunge, doesn't he? Just funny to take all beans out that cupboard again. Joe Hart's bald patch. There's somebody else that probably needs to go and see a barber, Ryan. Wee skin fade for Joe there. So, aye, good man. Paul Maguire, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Big Rab. Evening, big man, and Ryan C.
Evening, mate.
Good evening to Monty John too. He's going to need to change that soon to JP's dad, isn't he? He's just he's biding his time, I think. Stevie boy, how we doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying that jersey. Hope you got it. Pride of place somewhere. You need to send us a picture, mate, if you have. Celts 88, Bill the Butcher, for still games, would have gave you a haircut. Better go. Aye. By the way, so would Callum, the stuntman there. He's there again. Evening, boys. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Plunge says it was highlights. He remembers it was called Streaks. He's talking about his beans that are spilled down his window.
Shit. Remember,
yeah, the big man is Scotto boy, man. He's in a break. Here we go. Quality. You get back to work, by the way. It's busy at this time of the year because of that Cheltenham and Paddy's Day coming. So, yeah, make sure these scratch cards have all sold it. I want my Christmas suit paid for. Ryan, what about yourself, mate?
I've heard he's gone to Los Cristianos tonight to try and sell them, so...
Usually, by the way, Cristianos is brilliant for a breakfast. I've heard as well, man. You better get out there in the morning, big man.
Instead of €3 to €5 you'll be getting, big man.
It's not that. He's got that green and white masking tape all around that traffic cone to make it look a bit better so it looks a bit more inviting.
Inviting decor.
Inviting decor, aye. Chris Murray, evening, boys, and the chat. Hope you're well, mate. Cheers for tuning in. And, as I said, hope everybody's well that's tuning in with us. The big one for me, Ryan's obviously the headline there. Luke Mccowan being snubbed by Scotland, mate. What's your thoughts on that?
Probably on Luke's part, it's probably... obviously, it's eventually, I think, be playing with Celtic, he's going to get a call up. When that is, I don't know, but I kind of thought it might have been his time now. I know he's not been playing every week with Celtic, but he's still contributing at the highest level for Celtic. He's still playing the Champions League. He's potentially part of a treble winning team, the team that will win the league. So it's no, like I say, I know me and you spoke before we came on the air, but Grant Harley's been, I know he's at different positions, but he's been good for Scotland in years gone past, but he's playing in League One in Birmingham, which is no his, that's just what it happens. Lyndon Dykes hasn't called up anymore because he's not really scoring goals in that league anyway, and he shouldn't be playing, in my opinion. If you're playing with Scotland in League One, surely we've got better options than that. I think eventually you've got to go past the loyalty stage and the guys that have done well in the past. Eventually you need to, the squad's got to be refreshed if possible. So obviously they've been good for Luke McCowan. Obviously for us, in a service point of view, it's good that he'll be fresh and he's not going to get injuries or not do a lot of travel, etc. But it could be on, like Fun says here, it could be on standby list in case if somebody pulls out. It might be, but I think it's been good recognition for him because he's done well for Celtic when he's played. So I can get the fact that maybe on form wise he's not playing every week, so he might get overlooked. I get that, but like I say, you've got guys doing service well who are still playing. Like Kenny McLean's always there, and there's certain guys I think need to kind of get moved on out of the setup, and guys have been brought in to get them. Even up front, Kevin Nisbet, he's not done much for Aberdeen all season, but yet he's got for Scotland.
Unfortunately, Ryan, the forward position, mate, is not a position we are blessed
definitely.
with huge amount of talent in my opinion.
And I'm not his biggest fan, but the last few weeks, Shatner's been better for Hearts. He might not be scoring as many goals, but he's making
quite a few assists.
He's been better, so maybe he would have been. Maybe he would have been better, but again, it's not a big opinion. I'm a Scotland fan, JP, but so I'm not going to sit here and criticise Steve Clarke's selection. But on Luke McCowan, it would have been nice to see him playing for Scotland. I would say, selfish wise, I'm not bothered because it means he's fresh, and for the rest of the season or the next few weeks anyway, he'll be no injured hopefully, and he's obviously not going to travel a lot. But obviously it'd be good for Luke, mate, to get a call up and potentially a cap.
Yeah, before I give my opinion on the matter, I'm going to come to a few comments. I've seen Francis's comment in first. He says, I don't think Luke was snubbed as he's not playing regular enough. And James also said, McCowan has admitted he would be very happy to receive a Scotland call-up, but insists it's not something he's actively targeting this season. He's just, when he says that, he's just being modest. Trust me, Every Scottish player wants to play with our country. You just ask Barry Bannon what it meant when he get his call-ups and everything else. The next time Baz is on this channel, I'm telling you now, every Scottish player. I had a chance to play for Scottish juniors when and I was buzzing when I got it. So you listen, and that was that level. That wasn't even the Scottish senior level, Ryan. You know what I mean? So you're buzzing when that comes. When they send you that letter, it's amazing. Big Rab says McCowan's a victim of just how good the Scottish mids are at the moment. There is one point I'm going to make regarding that, okay? Because obviously one of the Scottish centre mids that's been cheered by his fellow teammates in a video that was made public the other day is a young lad that's been strongly linked to ourselves, young Lennon Miller, Ryan. Now, for me, Lennon's playing, he's 18 years of age. For me, Lennon is playing at a very good level on the Motherwell senior team. He's played a lot of football for his age as well. He's captained the team as well. So that'll go for him. He's exceptional. He's got great quality, I think. I don't know if it's because he's a Celtic fan. He's no tried a leg against us. He just didn't turn up in the 4. I was at that 4-0 game over the festive period. He just wasn't there. He was treated like a wee boy that day with Callum and Rio and Arnie. So what I will say as well, when you look at Luke McCowan on the flip side of that, Ryan, Luke McCowan's also played in the Champions League this season for Celtic. So you could say that Luke McCowan's played at a far higher level already than like, say, Lennon Miller. I think Big Rab's onto something there when he says that, we are blessed with talent in that area of the field. In my opinion, Luke McCowan is probably the closest thing you're getting to a Callum McGregor about the Scotland team again, in my opinion, the way he plays. So I think Scotland are going to miss Callum McGregor through time. I know people talk about John McGinn and Ryan Christie, but they're different players. McCowan's one of those players that can, like McGregor, we've seen it at the weekend. He can knit the game, and he does it really, really well. McCowan can play forward, he can play in the six, he can play all over. He's probably got more in terms of leg speed than probably Callum has now. Callum's starting to drift back a bit now and control games for the sixth position mostly. But Callum's still a brilliant technician, right? There's no getting away for that, mate. And I just feel Luke McCowan would give Scotland something similar. Now, I know people are going to say, JP, we've got Billy Gilmore, we've got Scott McTominay, but again, these guys are different players. They're not the same as Callum McGregor. And I just feel personally, for me, that, I feel that Luke McCowan is the closest thing we'll have to a possible Callum McGregor moving forward into the Scotland camps. But that's not to say down the road, mate, he might not get his eventual call up, especially when he scores goal of the season this coming Sunday. I've had a premonition, Ryan, already.
Obviously on Callum McGregor, obviously a selfish point of view for us, and obviously his career going forward for his fitness and his longevity.
Plunge. Your understanding is that he is, mate. He is a Celtic fan. He's been seen with Celtic tops on before abroad, and he's actually friends with some of the Celtic team. David Turnbull and boys that played for Celtic, they know him really well, and obviously, our understanding is he is a Celtic fan. Not that he'll probably admit to that because he'll not want to put his name to that now. But if you looked hard enough, mate, I'm sure you'll find him in a Celtic strip somewhere.
No, I've always says, even when McTominay and Gilmore and that was there, again, been biased or no, obviously the longevity of no playing with Scotland anymore, it's obviously beneficial for Callum in terms of
Ryan Jack's not been in the squad since FIFA 99.
Ryan Jack, it'll be good for him in terms of longevity because he's not playing an extra maybe 15 games or 20 games a season if Scotland get to competition, etc. So in terms of that, it's good for Callum. But I've said for a long time, and I don't know if people maybe recognise it now, for me, Callum McGregor was probably, if not, one of Scotland's most important players. If not the most important player in that midfield. Again, sometimes you need to take, it's the same as me, if Billy Gilmore was at Rangers now, I'd be saying the same. Well, he could potentially be one of the most important players, especially coming for Rangers and playing with Scotland. Sometimes you need to take your tinted specs off who you support and just look at a Scotland player. And McGregor is a phenomenal player. He still is. He was for Scotland. So it's always going to be hard to replace a guy like that quality. Even McGowan, guys like Ken McLean, even Stuart Armstrong, still, I don't know if he's in the squad anymore, but he was obviously before the World Cup and the Euros and stuff. But I just feel it's very hard to replace these sort of players, in my opinion. It's the same. It's
100%, Ryan, but you can understand my thinking for the closeness of what I see.
It's just as well because we obviously can't transfer players, so we can't go and buy another Callum McGregor. We've got to try and have that in our ranks at some point through our squad. So,
who's the next one they're talking about? Obviously, we've had a chat about this off of here. The next one's this Kyle Urey, isn't it? It's obviously
Celtic. A few people are bringing them up. Again, I've no knowledge of the boy really. I've never seen him really play, so I can't comment.
The other one's the boy Jude Bonner just now as well. He's been selected for the Scottish under Scottish development.
The game, I think me and you were at it a few weeks ago. He looked decent. He looked physically able to come in and play. So I get your saying, McKibben.
What you're talking about Bonner there, Ryan. Sorry to cut in you, mate. You're talking about Bonner coming in. Remember the boy Harper and the boy they look miles away. They looked as if he was just too big. That boy came in and just looked physically ready to do it, man.
They looked. That was probably not a good thing, but it was a good thing to highlight that people say young boys need a chance and this and that. Some boys get chances and they just know they're at that stage in their life or where they are, they're not good enough to come in and play yet, physically, mentally. direction of how the formation works. They just didn't know that game against him, Celtic Park. They just looked lost. They looked like they didn't belong in that level just yet, which is it's a far better level than I go to. But just in terms of even guys like Patrick Kamara were doing better than and stuff like that. So that's when you've got to look at that situation. But no, I think McCowan JP will get his call up eventually. And I think he will eventually. I think once he gets a call up and he gets a cap, I think he'll be in for a while. I think once he's in there, I think once he gets himself in there, I don't think he'll drop out again. Because he'll need to play ridiculously bad or be injured. I think that's the same anybody, to be fair, JP, in Scotland. See, unless you're no playing at your club at all, literally no playing, or you're having stinkers every week, you're probably going to be in every squad. So I don't know how you feel on that, mate, but I think in terms of international, form counts, or it should count, but I think the majority of the time, if you're still playing football relatively all right and you're playing consistently at your club, I think a wee bit of loyalty goes into it and you'll always be in the squads unless something really goes amiss.
I think it's a good point for Stevie there. He says the name Lennon reveals it, really. He says he's named after Neil, not John. Well, you never know. You never know. You never know. Don't be a jealous guy now, Stevie. Bada-boom. Aye, there you go. His mother's a Beatles fan. Brilliant. His name could have been Paul after Paul McCartney. You never know. George after George Harrison, or Ringo after Ringo Starr. You never know. Beatles are before your time, me man, aren't they?
I'm still really massive of music, mate, to be honest with you.
No.
I'm maybe your ABBA and that, mate. Do you know what I mean?
You would need 8 days a week to catch up with it, mate. So you would.
No, I think after listening to that, mate, I might need 8 days in my bed, to be fair, but.
Guy, they rap me, man. You fly away in a big bird tomorrow.
I know.
For everybody thinking, wondering what JP's talking about, Ryan goes and enjoys Alan over in the sunshine. I'll be left here representing the Gaffer logo. It normally sits above my name on here. Running this podcast while they two go jet setting out to Tenerife. Better hope you don't get stopped and took into a wee back room somewhere. That's many times as that you've been in Tenerife in the last 3 weeks.
Second time will be,
Second time, there you go, man. I think you're doing a ball and golly, man. I think you're doing a fag run.
I'm doing the fag run.
I'm here on behalf of someone who? Arthur Symington.
Arthur Symington. But
that's him that runs the Kensington's club in the bench and head. I've never heard of him. No.
Victor Puffington.
I've never heard of him. No, he died of cancer.
Brilliant, man.
It's his boy that runs it now.
Honestly, man.
His boy runs the Eagle Club now.
Everett we still game, you can just revert to life, can't you, man?
Aye, 100%. That's the one, Francis. Telling you, they two are going live for Tenerife. Just watch us. They'll be in Billy Porter's bedroom. And there it's there. I can see you in a gold jumpsuit, Ryan, singing Gimme, 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 a man after midnight.
I'll tell you, Francis, it's the only time I was saying Billy, I'll tell you that.
Aye. By the way, I have given the two of them permission. It's the only time they're allowed to say Billy Boy on this show, I'm telling you. And it'll be to pass something to them or whatever.
Aye.
But they are going to try their best to get Billy to say hello, I think. But it's only Billy that'll be on this programme, I'm telling you now.
Too right, man.
But no, another thing I wanted to discuss. Obviously, we've had a wee video sent in by one of our viewers, which turns out to be Ryan's dad. But it's the first time, like I says, we are going to start doing this on a regular basis, folks. So feel free if you want to contact us about it, and you can look to do it down the line. Ryan's dad's actually sent us in a wee point that he wanted us to speak about tonight. So I'm actually going to play this wee clip. And the video is about 1 minute and 12 seconds long. So, like I says, we'll probably cap it to between a minute and a half to 2 minutes. But John's obviously quickened up his point to a minute 12. So let's have a look to see what John wants to say, because we don't know what he's wanting to say until we hear it.
Hi, JP and Ryan. I'd like to put a point to this. I don't think it's been spoken about yet. I've not spoken about enough. It's a goalkeeping situation. We know Casper signed an extension of his contract, so we've got him to the end of next season, which we're all delighted about. But I need to mention the Sinasalo project, because that's what it's been described as. I don't know who described it like that, if it was the media or what. Now, is this boy expected to come in and replace Casper in 18 months' time, whenever, when Casper's done with Celtic? The boy's played 60 odd games at a lower level. Do you think he's going to play many games between now and when Casper leaves? I don't think so. And do you think the boy is, do you think that's adequate to become Celtic's number one? Me personally, I don't think so. I've seen it blind right enough, I've never seen the boy playing. But what do you think, lads?
Before I obviously discuss more on John's question there, which is a very good question, I've seen Joe Curran joining us tonight. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. He says, why should Steve Clarke put Luke into the Scotland team when he's not starting for us, Brendan? So Brendan could change that. Hail. Well, Joe, to be fair, my point, I don't know if you've just joined us, mate, or when you did join us. My point to that earlier was he's playing at a far higher level to a lot of the guys that he's picked just now. So if you look at the Champions League's the top level you can play club football in. Like Mccowan he's played in that this season. I know you've mentioned he's not playing regularly, but when he is, he's become a major asset for Celtic. If you look at him at the weekend there, he's coming on, he's making assists, he's nearly scoring, he's actually contributed goals as well. In games he even has started and he's scored. You've got to look at the quality and the depth that Celtic have in that position as well. So for me personally, he's picked guys like Kenny McLean. Now, with all due respect, Kenny McLean is playing in the Championship in England. As Ryan alluded to earlier, he's picking guys like Grant Hanley. Now, I know that's a different position, but Grant Hanley plays for Birmingham, who's in League One. Luke McCown's playing a far higher level than that, in my opinion, Joe. So it's all about opinions. Okay, fine. But when you look at the Champions League to League One in England, I mean, it's not even for me, it's not even a contest, mate. So I get your point, though. I can understand the regularity thing and the way he's playing. However, down to levels and down to overall ability, for me, it's a difference. It's a massive difference as well. And then you've got to look at, is he contributing, which is a key factor there, because if he's an asset to Celtic, then why would he not be an asset to Scotland? So that's my point, really, for that, Joe. Ryan, obviously your dad there, he's come in with a point regarding Sinasalo. If you think back, obviously, John mentions there, we've not seen him. John's obviously forgotten about the Rafe Rovers game where he played and he kept a clean sheet. I know it's Rafe Rovers. People are going to say that to me, it's Rafe Rovers. But for me personally, I thought he looked very comfortable, Ryan, for a boy that was his first appearance this season. So I understand what John says, but I think as we go, Ryan, I think when we get to next season, I think we'll see more of Sinasalo in terms of maybe the League Cup games or the Scottish Cup games. Sinasalo's been a victim of the draw that Celtic have been given. So if you look at the two cup draws have unfortunately forced Sinasalo, given his Premier League teams, Ryan, where it would be a risk if Brendan didn't go with Kasper Schmeichel in those games, in my opinion. I think it's a good question for John there, and obviously one that that we need to look at going, because I think when we all signed Sinisalo, Ryan, I think everybody and their granny probably thought Sinisalo's coming in to be the project signing behind Kasper Schmeichel to learn. But that's a key factor there. He's learning. But who better to teach you also than obviously Kasper Schmeichel, mate?
I think it's quite a good point, to be fair. I think in terms of this season, I think he's only made one start, if that's correct, and it was Youth Rovers. He'll need to start playing more often, because you yourself, JP, you can train and play with these players and learn, get education and improve in training. But if you're not playing games at the level, then I know what you're saying as well. Casper's your main.
Ryan, sorry to cut in. I've actually heard a point. Somebody said to me that Sinisalo was brought in just so that Scott Bain doesn't get a game.
Possibly, aye. Scott Bain's took the binge out now instead of Sinisalo. No, I think it's quite a good point, to be fair, because I think right now, again, we can't comment, but in terms of his stats and what he's done in the past, right now, is he adequate to come in and play for Celtic every week? Probably no. Because if he was, he'd be playing more games, in my opinion. 9 times out of 10, a lot of teams, maybe no in Scotland, but abroad and kind of even like Baz even mentioned it in the Championship, League One, sometimes the number 2 or number 3 plays the cup games. And the fact that he's not played a lot of even the cup games, even if it's against Premier League teams, I don't know if maybe he's not at the level yet to come in and play. Is it the confidence? I don't know. I really don't know, because we can't comment. We've only seen him once. I think once in a friendly, or twice in a friendly, and once in the league. And he's looked all right, but he's not really been tested. So you only really see a goalkeeper when they're tested, i.e. when Barkas was here, when he was tested, he was terrible. And then look at him now with Utrecht, he's saving everything. So it just, listen, things happen, mate. If, we can sell Sinisalo next year and he can go somewhere and he can be brilliant, but we don't know what he's like. In terms of if somebody says to you, you're going to get a goalkeeper who's played the games he has and the club he's played for, is that adequate for your number one just on basis of stats? No, it's nowhere near it. It's nowhere near. It's nowhere near it. But we can only comment on what we see, and I think Kasper will be here till probably the end of next season, and he possibly could retire, or he could still play on and be number 2, or he could be number 1. I really, it's one of the ones. It's hypothetical, but we can't really comment too much. But it's probably a good point, because especially if we want to improve, and for me next season the Champions League, it's after you qualify obviously for the playoff, it's trying to get into the last 16 or the last 32 this format. It's not about just competing now. We've shown we can compete, so it's about trying to get to that next level as much as we can, which is still going to be hard, because we could get an unbelievable hard group format again. It was a format which was easier. The one was just not easier, but considering what we could have had, we could get a few more teams in the next format if we qualify. It could be ridiculously hard for us to qualify into the last 32 or whatever it is. I keep getting mixed up because it's all changed. But that's where we need to try and get to now. It's not just about getting 1 or 2 wins now and kind of just competing. It's about, right, bit of money, go and try and compete now. So I think it's quite don't know how you feel, mate, but I think it's quite a good point. I think this season is probably just a learning curve from come in, settle in, learn under Kasper. But I do agree with you, next season, if he's not playing a lot of cup games, at least then you're going to think to yourself, maybe he's not good enough. Because in my opinion, mate, somewhat young, I know he's starting to maybe be a bit better now, but it shouldn't take Sinisalo 2 years to try and get game time at Celtic, in my opinion. Especially as a number 2, you should be doing something to say to the manager, look, I'm ready to come in and step in as a cup game or a same. Because realistically, he should be allocated as if it's a League Cup or a Scottish Cup. He plays all the games, and he keeps Kasper a break as well. So, but I think it's quite a good point, to be fair.
The reason I said that was because obviously Kasper will be a year older next season. I know he signed the extension. However, when you look at that in the cup games, I think, as you say, training this year to then build himself for maybe the games.
That's the only thing I can think of, JP, is the fact that he's got a plan for him. But
listen, don't think for 1 minute. I mean, I seen a comment there. I think it was. Hold on a wee second. I'll see if I can find it. Pat McLaughlin there, he says, the folk really thinks in a sallow to shake Schmeichel out the team when he's probably the best signing of the summer. No, certainly not. However, injuries happen, mate. And listen, I don't mean to be very disrespectful here. I think every Celtic fan just now, Ryan included, would be jumping in a cupboard or Arthur Kingston if they found out that Scott Bain was a go-to guy to come in if something happens to Casper. Just say Casper ends up with a broken hand or something.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I would put Liam Scales in goals before. I'm telling you, honestly. And by the way, I've heard he's good in goals. I've heard they can do it. I don't know if anybody's seen the clip. I don't know if anybody's seen the clip that went out. It was they were doing the FIFA cards. And Casper Schmeichel was hitting shots into Yang. Did you see some of the saves Yang was pulling off, by the way? He's so agile and so athletic. I would even put him in goals if that was the case. And by the way, I'm only having a laugh here before anybody jumps in, but you cannot have Scott Bain as your go-to guy.
No.
All you've got to do is remember the Sligo Rovers game.
Hibs,
and you see what he done then.
That's what I'm saying.
I know he's brilliant with the body's feet, right? And he's probably very good with the body's feet.
He's there to save shots, not to play the body's feet.
100%. Also seen a wee thing, mate, as we're chatting here. Stevie says that Casper needs 4 clean sheets in order to hold the league record.
The record.
I don't know if anybody's watched the overlap. And he was on that, and he was chatting with Gary Neville and the lads for the overlap, and he says that that's something that goalkeepers chase. They chase things to be recognised for. And these are all records that he'll be chasing. But I nearly spat my juice everywhere there when I seen this comment. Rab Douglas has the record at 22 shutouts. You've got to be kidding me on.
I actually seen I
thought it was Fraser Foster.
A guy on Twitter, it was somebody put a tweet up about Martin O'Neill at Celtic and stuff, and it was a photo of, I think it was Douglas O'Neill and somebody else coming to the other guy was.
And to be fair, Liam Scales is injured at the moment, so there's every possibility.
He's gone for a bit of rehab. The guy's comment was that if Celtic had a better goalkeeper, they could have been one of the.
Wow. By the way, that shows you how good. That shows you how good we were that season. If he's at that record,
the guy's Twitter, I don't know who the guy's Twitter post is. I've not got a clue who he was, but I just seen it, and he basically says that a good goalkeeper basically done Martin O'Neill with an unbelievable team. Then, in terms of maybe doing better in Europe, etc., because you've seen yourself, JP, Bayern Munich, Hedman, hopeless, sold the jerseys. Other games, maybe a goalkeeper back. Maybe a goalkeeper back then. Again, I was only young, so I can only comment on what I can remember.
Goodness.
But and obviously what my old man's told me and other people. But
I'm going to not be able to sleep tonight now. You've just brought back a memory to me.
Apparently, everybody's saying that if Celtic had what you call a number one proper, listen, Douglas was obviously decent to play the level he did, right? Obviously, but in terms of a top, if we had a top goalkeeper back then, who knows what could have happened.
Alan, you get back to work, mate. Slice your up, Patter, please.
You're killed. But that's quite a good point, actually, maybe Johnny was saying. I agree with Paul as well that
you should be Scotto in your head off there, man.
We can't judge in the Sal too much, to be fair. There's a few players at the club that I don't think we can fully judge, i.e. like Nadovsky. Hard kick the ball. We can't see he's no good enough, or he is, because we can only go on the manager. The manager's not really played him, tells he's not good enough. So
a quick point there for the big grab, mate. He says Toby Oyewemi will be the number 3 next season due to his game time out on loan.
That's a good point, Grab. Obviously, he's highly rated. He's away on loan. I'm sure, is it Dunfermline he's at? Am I right in saying? Or is it Dunfermline he's at?
Yeah.
Boatmen in the Championship. He'll obviously, I think for his next loan spell, which I'm guessing probably done a loan spell, would need to be something in the Premier League or something a better level, because you can't.
Oh my God, man, get a bleach it.
Dimitri Karin. In my opinion, it's very hard listen, it could happen. But
Any
going for the
goalkeeper
boat,
that wears trousers is worth a
I
watch,
know,
by the
I
way,
know.
I'm telling you.
If you go out for the boatman of the Championship to then been up to go with Celtic, you need to be within 3 or 4 months for the summer. You would need to get boom. You would need to stretch a few legs and a
Yeah,
few.
yeah.
You would need to be really good. So no, that's a good point, Rob. It's obviously he's been loaned out. So but who knows? We'll see what happens with that.
Now, there's a guy that was top, in my opinion, he was top quality,
He
and
was
we didn't keep him.
he was better than Douglas.
100%. He was the best we had when he came to the club.
Aye.
Remember
Is
his
he
game at Ibrox?
Was he no only a short-term deal for Livingston?
It was only short. I think it was only 6 months, Ryan, or half a
Aye.
season or whatever it was. But way
Aye,
back
he was
then there
decent.
wasn't the transfer window, wasn't there? Way back then you could sign players whenever. Because Neil Lennon signed with Celtic in the middle of December, I'm sure. His first game was
Right.
against Dundee. Tom Boyd
Was
scored a
Alan
flying
Thompson?
header. It was an OG.
Was Alan Thompson no the end of the summer as well?
No, him,
No.
Momo Silla, and Steve Guppy. There was three. Was it Hearts and Momo Silla and Steve Guppy all signed the same day?
Who was it he signed? Was it who was it he signed the end of the summer?
Petrov. It was John Barnes that signed Petrov, right?
No Petrov. There was somebody signed it. Who was it? Was it Sutton?
Martin O'Neill signed him because we big Viduka went away.
Might
O'Neill tried to keep Viduka,
Aye.
and
Again,
Viduka was like, "No."
that just shows you as well how some things happen in life or things to happen. If Celtic kept Viduka, I know this is going to sound nuts, but who knows where we'll be now? It's just
He
these
owns a
small things.
apparently he's a coffee. He's a barista.
It's small things like that. Would we have signed Would we have even signed Hartson and stuff like that for Viduka's side? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but it was Hearts and Guppy and Silla all signed the same day. They all signed the same day.
See, guy, it's like
Most recently, who's the Ryan? Who's the most up to date players that have signed the same day recently?
Jack and Marcus, Carter, Vickers, and Jota.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Aye, that's right. Do you know we've signed Jota more times than I done the toilet in the Brigton Lavies, man.
I hope you're not in Brigton Lavies.
Honest to God, I'm not joking. He was a player. Viduka was a player. And it was the season Henrik broke his leg. That's when Viduka came of age with us, in my opinion. All signed the day we beat Man United and Giggs testimonial. Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right. What a player he was, I know, man. Top big players, man. Giggs. Oh my God. He was my hero growing up, I know. I remember watching. I'm old enough to have seen his debut for Man United, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And aye, tremendous, absolutely tremendous. They were, but yeah, Viduka and Larson were just clicking, and they were just becoming. Because I think Larson talks about that. He says it would have been Viduka if he'd had more time with him. Because they've asked him about who's the best partner you played with. And he says it's Chris Sutton, only because of the time he spent with Chris. But he says it would have been Mark Viduka, and he thought it would have been Mark Viduka because of the where Henrik seen that relationship going. So yeah. But Viduka was tremendous. He was, after all his antics about no one to move. There was a lot of mitigating circumstances as to what happened with Big Viduka in the end. I think there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And as we could all remember, Celtic weren't in a good place. When obviously you look at John Barnes and that kind of era, maybe just a wee bit before your time, Ryan.
I can briefly remember it, but I can't tell you everything about the team back then.
Right.
I was on the guy. So.
People, by the way, I laugh, and this is what I keep saying to you. This is why I chuckle when Celtic fans say we were poor today. I remember when we were poor. I remember going to games, mate, when you watch Colin Healy running out in the midfield. And I'm not saying Colin was a bad player, but that was a go-to, guys, to get us through a period in a season. Kenny Dalglish won a cup with him as part of a team, by the way. And people slagged that boy for months.
Was he no decent with injured a lot?
Yes. Yes. He also got caught picking his nose with David Fernandez and somebody else. I can't remember who the other boy was. I know you're laughing there because we obviously have got an outstanding joke with David Fernandez because Big Alan looks like him sometimes when he just comes on the pod with that hair. But we had some mental teams through the years, and that's how I laugh. And I have a wee chuckle now when people say to me, Celtic were poor today.
I feel
like Backman Turner overdrive, man. I really do. That song ain't seen nothing yet. My God, man.
People say Lagerbielke Kondorovsky, but go look at Dewey. 45 minutes up the road, man.
Raphael Shite.
Oh, he played for Brazil and a few good clips on YouTube. Get him signed.
Can you picture me the back three, Davy Weir, Raphael Shite and Oliver Tebley? Weir, Tebley, Shite.
Honestly, you probably put a vote for him, man, to be fair.
There we go. Big Barry, contributor to the show. Evening, lads. I remember the days where we were not a dominant force in Scotland. Never forget your old arse. Our fans now don't know what it's like to suffer. Hail, hail. Never said a truer word, Barry. Honestly, mate, that's tremendous. By the way, he's bang on, Ryan. I'm telling you now, because every Celtic fan and their granny need to do, see that wee woman, can you see us now? We should all do one of their videos. Because I'm telling you, mate.
Yes, fucking no.
Running out with blins.
Oh,
that was a man, their brother-in-law.
But that's what I said. That's what we spoke about the other night, which goes on to Barry's comment. How we spoke about that. That's why I celebrate and I love winning, and that's why I celebrate every trophy like it's the last, because you never know when the next time you win a trophy. I know, listen, because of how good we are and the finances, listen, it won't be short of coming. It could be 6 months later, 3 months later, 2 years, whatever. But you could go on a 10-0 season without winning nothing. Again, listen, it could happen. Don't think it can, because it can. Football's a strange game. So Barry's right there. So if I know the league's just a bit done, but until it's signed, sealed, delivered, you win the league. If you win the Scottish Cup, you've already won the League Cup. If you win the treble, celebrate it, whether you're teetotal or you drink
100%,
or whatever you do.
Yep.
Celebrate it to the maximum you can. And then, obviously, going to pre-season.
Winning's the hardest thing to do in football. And this current decade and current time for Celtic have made winning look very easily.
Winning's the hardest thing in the football.
It's the hardest thing to do in football. It's the hardest thing. And see, to have that mindset, folks, and this is what I'm saying to Celtic fans, and I do it quite often when I speak to Celtic fans, regardless of who they are. See, to install that mindset in players, it's very hard. It's a very hard thing to do. You've got guys, like, no disrespect, Luke Mccowan coming from Dundee. Now, we're fortunate for that because Luke McCown's one of us. He's a Celtic fan. So he knows what he kind of knows for the outside what it is. But when he comes in, you look at Yang. No disrespect to Yang. He played with Suwon FC over in South Korea. Yang's jumped levels from, I want to say, Peterborough to Liverpool. That's the contrast of the jump that he's made from clubs. He's jumped from Peterborough to Plymouth Argyle to Liverpool. It's ginormous. And Yang's come in and he's seen the stadium and he's probably went, Jesus, man. And for a few times, it was like a rabbit in headlights. Now, you can see now, and I hope this continues over this last period, this last couple of months, which has now got him into the South Korean team. I'm using him as an example here, Ryan, because it's probably a perfect example to use, as in, you can now start to see it with him. He gets it. Mm-hmm. You can see he's starting to get it. It's took him a while. but you can now see, Jesus, I need to chase everything here. I need to work hard. I need to do this. I need to do that. He's had to take everything on board. He's had to change his life. But this is what happens. This is why, as Ryan's saying there, winning's the hardest thing in football to do. He's probably came for a team as well that drew one week. They weren't getting booed off the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the other mob across the water. They're getting booed off the park at half time. That must be the most. I've never seen the biggest bipolar support in all my life. 1 minute they're booing the team, the next minute they're cheering the team because they want to beat Fenerbahce. They're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Tomorrow night, they've obviously got another big game before they play us at the weekend. If they don't win, and the same things happened, what happened with Liverpool last night, and they go out the tournament, that'll be them back to being stinking again, and their fans will hate them, and this is going to happen, and Barry Ferguson, Barry and the Dreamers can't keep a job, and they need to move on, and they need to do this, and they need to do that. But if they win, it'll be give him a 5-year contract, and get him this, and get him that. They'll all be in the phone-ins, and everything. I know you're laughing, Ryan, but that's where they are. This is the mindset of what you're dealing with. Bearing in mind, folks, this is a fan base that turned up to football matches with Warburton's loaf packets round their heads, sellotaped round their foreheads, singing about a magic hat. Jesus, Johnny.
It's a small. See, a lot of people might think that. Obviously, if people know if you played football, doesn't matter whether you played it, but if you played in a team that's going for trophies or a team that's going for relegation, there's a big difference in the mindset of training and games and how there's a total difference. See, even training, no cutting corners, going to the cone, or that these silly things like that. That's a mentality. So see if you're cutting corner at training, no going through with the run, no going to that. People might think it's silly, but it's no. See if you've got the mentality of, I need to get right to the end. You run to the end, whether I know you're knackered or no, you go. That's three small things, and that builds up to big things. So it's the same in a game. If you're chasing a defender, he's going to win that. I'll just leave it. But if you that's the no, I need to try and chase it down, win if I can. It's three small things, and see if we lose a game or you lose 2 games or you draw. Listen, see if you win the league. It's all about mentality. We get beat off of Dortmund, and our team could have went 2 ways. They could have been doing the Swanee. We could have lost 2 or 3 games in a row, doing in the dumps, just totally took us right off course for a few weeks.
Ryan, that's the best thing that happened to us this season. Do you know that, mate? Because look at how we bounced back for it.
It could have been, mate. We could have been doing the Swanee for a few weeks. We could have went to domestic games and no getting results, and then we could have beat the next game in the Champions League, but we didn't. That's because, again, you've got mentalities like McGregor and Vickers and Schmeichel, guys that have been there for
2 games this season, mate.
And we've lost 3 goals at home in the league.
There you go. For the same team, by the way.
3 goals at home.
Only 1 team scored against us this season, Aberdeen.
And people were expecting potentially them to come and score 2 or 3 Celtic Park. It's not happening. It's not happening. Teams find it very hard. I do believe one reason is, which I'll bring it on to you, mate, as well. For me, Carter Vickers is a guy that we need to keep. And it's somebody that we can't let go. Personally, for no matter how much money, if we get offered 30, we cannot let him go, because will we get somebody saying quality that for the money? I don't know. That's no down to us. That's down to the scouting team, and that's no who. But I'm just talking about hindsight. Would we buy somebody of that quality for maybe the money we're going for? You need to find a gem, personally, because I think he's one reason why we don't see. Obviously, Schmeichel's part of that, and Johnson. But you just see him at the weekend, JP. He absolutely strolled it. Didn't break sweat, and that's due to him been so good. He knows where he. And I agree with the guys. Watch me about up and going. They were saying as well that whoever plays next to him, if it's Scales, Nerofsky, Trusty, whoever it is, he makes him better. He makes him calm and composed, and he's also talked to him because he's experienced, and I know he's still a young guy. He's only, what is that, 25, 26? He's not old yet. No, he's not too old.
I think he's
Not that old.
26, 27 now, Ryan. Yeah.
So having him, JP, no matter who's next to him, but I do think he's better with Trusty. I think we've seen that now that Trusty's obviously more neither spec scales, but like say with Greg Taylor, Slip, there's better levels to it as well. But I don't know what you think on that, mate. But for me, Carter Vickers, obviously, listen, I know if we get 35, 40 million pound or even 30 million pound again, even potentially 25, that bracket, they'll probably look to maybe potentially explore it, maybe. But I don't think we're in a situation, personally, that you can sell him. I know we're talking about the injuries and stuff, but he's been fit recently for a while now.
I think
He's
there's
been
talking about
fit.
selling him though, is there?
No, but I just mean...
You and Big Alan love it on here, man. You try and get you taking up agency work, man. You try to get rid of your players.
I'm just saying he's that important, JP, that he's one of the players, and I know there's a few players, but for me, he's probably that player.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? This is my opinion. See if he remains
can't
on the sidelines and in the treatment table, we're going to need to look to replace him, mate. We're going to have to. It's going to come a point because how many big games does he miss?
No, I get that, but see if he's fit for a few months and he's injured for a few weeks, listen, it happens. But see if he's anybody, by the way, if it's Johnson, Taylor, McGregor, whoever it is, if you're injured every 3 or 4 weeks and you're not playing and you can't be fit, then you can't play with this team, because this team needs you to be robust, you need to be athletic, you need to be available, i.e. Who were we talking about? Was it Jan? Who were we talking about a few weeks ago? And he's always available, but he might... No, Greg... was it Greg Taylor? Greg Taylor's decent. Done well for Celtic, right? But the one thing he's fit. He's always there to come in and play, be that left back, if it's off the bench, he's a sub, whatever it is, he's always there. So you always need somebody players, but you need guys like your Vickers who are own big money. You need them to be fit. We all know injuries happen. But I do believe in the summer anyway, JP, because on my point, I think we do need another centre back during the summer to help him and Trusty. Scales is still a part of his team, he's still there to contribute, but we keep talking about trying to improve the team and get to different levels. I think another centre back of the quality of Vickers or a bit better than Trusty is probably a bit of a priority in my opinion, mate.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need another centre back. Obviously, you've got Austin Trusty there. And by the way, fair play to both of them. The two of them have been called into Pochettino's American squad as well.
Unless we bring back Lager Bielka, who's in the Sweden squad now.
Well, he's been called up to the Sweden squad because he's done very well over in Holland. So, who knows? You don't know what kind of plan Brendan might have for Lager Bielka. That might be something that he'll revisit when we get to the summer. It'll be interesting. And as a Celtic fan, I'm looking forward to what the summer brings. Now, I'm just more importantly trying to get everything all sealed in terms of let's get this domestic treble that we're chasing now done and dusted. Let's focus and try. Personally, all my focus would be going. I know Brendan and the team will not allow it. But personally, all my eggs would be going into the St Johnstone Cup tie in the semi-final because 16 points ahead, mate. I mean, obviously Sunday will take care of itself. A win on Sunday then, all but for me, secures the league title yet again for Celtic to even a draw. I would say a draw is no good to the mob across the water. They would need to win that game. Are they going to do it? No, they're not, because they're not coming to Celtic Park and beating Celtic. I just think Celtic... I says in one of the headings was that Celtic will be a lot fresher going into the tie. They've got a big game tomorrow night that they'll need to put a lot of energy and stuff into as well. And I just think when that mob come to Celtic Park, they seem to have this weak mentality that they can't seem to handle what we've got. And I think this time around, with Brendan even mentioning it in his presser, for me, Celtic are going to be a different animal this time. And it's not going to be a case of, well, that far ahead in the league. No, well, that will no matter because we want to be further ahead and really lay down a marker. I know we lost the last one But again, there was a mitigating circumstances surrounding that one as well. Guys like Arnie Ingles having viruses and stuff, been on the bench, don't really get much game time. These guys are flying now, right? These guys have done well for Celtic over a number of months now, and I just see Celtic having that quality. Maeda being through the middle is going to cause them a lot of upset, and and I'm looking forward to watching Jota and Kuhn going up against either side, and so yeah. But obviously, just before we finish, mate, I want to touch on the allocation being back. What's your thoughts on that? Just before we obviously finish up.
I think we spoke about it briefly, mate, on Monday. It's pros and cons. The cons are that we don't want them in the run because they can be break seats, people getting hit with batteries and buckfast bottles. We've seen it all at Ibrox. And I actually quite enjoyed having Celtic Park with full 60,000. The atmosphere was electric. We get right behind the players. The atmosphere was just phenomenal. And it really does feel like a home game, like a proper home game.
Yeah.
But the pros are, I'm probably going to say the pros are going to outweigh the cons, because you've seen the Hibs fans at Celtic Park. I know it might not get to that stage of how many fans a game, but it just looks like a proper derby game. It looks like a spectacle. It's the way it should be. We all know what happened and why it got cut short, and we don't need to go back into the game, because everybody who, even if there is Rangers fans watching this, they know why. The real football fans know why. They couldn't handle getting beaten Big Edward ever since then. They couldn't handle it.
By the way, I just want to touch on that, mate. What a goal that was, man.
But again,
What a finish that was, man.
It's not just about the goal. It's the fact that he put on a striker. We were all thinking he might just take it out here. That's the manager. It's elite thinking. Yeah. No, we'll go for it. If we get beat, we'll get beat. I agree with him, JP, in terms of what he done there, because I've always said I would rather get beat trying and gone for it and get beat 4-2 or whatever, and eventually you lose a few goals, or just sitting and going, we'll just pass it about and take it. I'd rather try and go for a juggler, and that's what happened. But pros and cons to it, mate. I think there's probably more pros to it. It's good for the other people outside of Scotland to see it as well. It's ferocious. It's a rivalry. It's the atmosphere. It's just, for me, that's what it's all about. You see it down south as well. Obviously, Baz's team there get the derby on Sunday as well. So they'll have a good bit of Sheffield Wednesday Stadium. So Hearts and Hibs, you see that, it's good. I just think it makes a derby, like James says, the enemy's in the stadium. Yeah. You score and it's bedlam, and then when they score, it's for about 30 seconds, it's silence at Celtic Park. Same as Ibrox, when we score, it's silence, and all you hear is Celtic fans celebrating, and that's what makes a derby, mate. I don't know what you feel, but I just want it back to the way it was, but I can't see it for a long time.
I can't see it being back to the 7 and a bit thousand, but this is going to be certainly a lot noisier even than the 800 that we had prior, or the 750 or whatever it might have been. There's been that many changes to it, mate. It's hard to keep track of what it was and what it wasn't. But I'm probably no wrong when I said they two kind of ballpark figures. Yeah, so we did briefly, if you remember, before big.
Did they not play in that? What team
they played against?
We played a 3-5-2, didn't we? And they played they two up front.
Yeah, but sure. I'm trying to think of the mob, because they across the batter played them the other year. It was a European team, wasn't it?
Aye, they were a Diddy team.
They won it, really? Well,
in terms of
the way, aye. It wasn't Astana, wasn't it?
No, what's that? Oh, what are they called, man?
Are they Cypriot?
I can't remember, mate. I can see them playing the no. I can see it on the park. Oh, what team was that? Even Google it, JP, with your own. I can't mind who that was. But I don't want to be disrespectful to Diddy team. I'm just saying you put the Celtic, they were a pure minnow. I'm sure they were. Oh, what's that team, man? Did they know wear yellow and black strips?
It was Allocation.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I knew
Allocation
that's what it
FC.
was. That's what it was.
Yeah, they
I'm
did
sure
play
they played up
together.
front.
They did play.
Aye.
They did play together. It was
Aye.
Allocation FC. It just came to me
That's
there when I
That's it.
tried to Google
Aye.
it and just couldn't think it, and then it came to me.
Was that the one-
Allocation. It was.
Was that the one Aston Park or not, by the way?
I think it might have been. We also played him. I think over there, Scott Sinclair back keeled a goal, didn't he? Back keeled it into the net. Yeah, Alaska FC Alaska. It was.
I can remember that. Aye.
Yeah. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the derby and being there on Sunday. And I'm not looking forward to hearing their fans because I mean, nobody likes listening to them singing. But I'm looking forward to that actual what it's going to bring the game, because it'll give us a wee bit more than what we've had. I thought it was tremendous on Sunday. I keep saying Sunday for the 7th. I mean, fair play to them. I know they get beat 2-0, but they sang right through the whole game. I know if it's 2 or 3-0 on Sunday, that mob will, we don't do walking away, but they'll turn into seats again. I'm not looking forward to maybe reading the day later or whatever that, they've smashed the place up again or what's happened before, because that doesn't bring a good press attention to the game, and I just hope that doesn't happen. And I hope everybody's safe. That's what I hope for. I just hope everybody's safe. I think I seen a comment for Angie M about, there'll be riots and there'll be people fighting before it. We've seen the last one in the city centre. Somebody was an absolute genius when he added the Home Alone rush into the playing music to it as well. It was tremendous when they were on the Langer Gale Street. But
I don't think this is obviously. I can only go by people for years ago. I don't think it's as bad as what it used to be in terms of it's definitely. It doesn't get highlighted much.
I just hope Arnie Engels doesn't take a corner, mate, and
aye, that's kind
again
of
me anything.
Yeah.
Again,
I know.
As Francis says, there is an element in every fan base, but more so it's highlighted because of who it is with them, and it's he said there it's a certain IP as they can't behave.
But
they're well renowned for it.
I think, well, I'm not going to sit and say, obviously I'm on Friday yourself and Barry, that's on Friday, so I'll leave that to you to chat about it, but I'm really confident we'll get the result. I think the fact we could beat the last game, I think it'll be Brown and Brendan's system that he's got to go and no prove people wrong or put a statement out, but just say, here, listen, look, this is why we're the champions, this is why we're the top team, and he's wanting to win the big games. He's wanting to put a marker there. Obviously, Barry Ferguson as well, and right the wrongs for the last game. So the team will be well prepared. They'll be told. I don't want any Celtic fan, by the way, on social media, on Twitter, WhatsApp chats, anything at all. If disaster happens and we do not win this game, the race finished, doesn't matter. Bullshit. I do not want to lose this game, no matter what, how. If you're 20 points ahead, 20 points behind, doesn't matter how many points you're ahead in this league. You do not want to lose this game. You don't want to get beat off your rivals. You don't want to give them any wee bit of celebration. You want to go, win the game, ideally, excuse me at the top of them, but just win the game. I don't want any excuses for any Celtic fan. Oh, we get beat so 6, 13, but don't care. You want to win the game. You want to go 19 points clear, by the way. What an unbelievable scenario that is, to go and win the game and basically win the league. Basically, winning Sunday, the league, it's no mathematically, but it's done. It's signed, basically. It's just about signed, done.
And just think, folks, it's a day closer to Kieran Tierney being back amongst us as well.
That as well. So, JP, obviously I'll let you talk about it on Friday, but I'm very, very bullish that we'll get the result on Sunday, and I'm pretty bullish that it will be pretty comfortable. I just think tactically we're far better than Celtic. Listen, I know few games, last 2 or 3 games, we've not been great, but we've still got the results in terms of the cup game and stuff like that, more a cup. So it's about winning games. So ideally, you want to play well, but even if we don't play well and we still win, I couldn't care. You've won the game. Derby game's about winning, so get 3 points up the road and go and celebrate and enjoy your night. But like you say, JP, first and foremost, everybody who's got the game, stay safe. If you're watching in pubs, watching wherever you are, stay safe, because we all know there's, like you say, JP, 2 teams, and majority of teams all the world, you get the minority of shark idiots that just like to ruin things for people. So enjoy the game, be safe, and hopefully we're celebrating a good 3 points, a good victory.
Yeah, and anybody for the Hoops Bar in Tenerife, be prepared for two numpties coming to visit you on Sunday as well.
Stevie, I like Venoms. Get the Venoms
honestly.
on.
And he's talking about Friday there, folks. Yeah, as Ryan says, we'll be back on Friday night for the pre-match build-up for the Glasgow Derby this coming Sunday. Barry Bannon's going to join me. I'm hoping one other will join us as well. I'll have that confirmed maybe tomorrow, but if not, it'll be myself and Baz. It'll be on for that. We'll be doing that big boys chat on here while you and Alan are having a wee roll about Billy Porter's bedroom, me man. He's grand a webby.
I'll need to mess. Listen, I'm Billy. I can't wait to see you.
You got to ask him to wear a suit.
I'll ask him to take it off.
It's that song he sings when he's coming into his show. If anybody's aware of the song, you'll know what I mean.
I don't like his songs for. And maybe it's a half time.
Oh, this is a family show. We can't be singing. We can't be singing that song on here. But if anybody that's seen Billy Porter, you'll know the comedian Billy Porter for Glasgow. You'll know what I mean by his song. So I went to see. This is how committed I am to the missus. Really, I went to see Billy Porter the night we beat Feyenoord at Celtic Park. Ring. Billy Porter was in the Alona Hotel out in Staffclyde Park.
That's right,
yeah. And I swear to God, I get fed a Christmas dinner that was fit for a good vet. I'm telling you, man. I actually said to the lassie, I said, "Tia, is this chicken being cooked in?" She went, "Aye, what do you mean?" I said, "She started eating all my mashed totties, my veg."
It's walking him.
I was like, it's actually talking to me here on a plate.
Oh, man.
But so the wee guy goes to the fancy dress party with a gold glove on. The guy says to him, "Who you?" He says, "I've came as Goldie Hawn."
Oh, man.
That's how you know it's the end of the show tonight, mate. That's how you know we're at the end. But good wee chat again, mate. It's good to get you back on for a wee chat before you jet out. Is it tomorrow morning?
Yes, I'll be up about 10 to 8. My flight is, so.
Well, you need to be in the airport.
If anybody sees me in my airport, you can give me a few pints.
What time? By the way, inject them with adrenaline before you get them out. Whatever you do, man. You'll be hanging like a bag of washing.
No.
What time do you need to be in the airport at?
About 5:45, 5:45.
Jesus, man. So you need to be up about 3 to get yourself prepared and ready then.
I had my Cocoa Pops and my wee cup of milk.
A wee cup of milk. Is that to put into your Cocoa Pops or is that for you just as separate?
A wee shot glass of milk into the chocolate.
Aye. Good. Hope you're no. By the way, I hope you've not been overdoing it at Cheltenham, by the way. You'll be raving all the way through to that airport. And...
Nah, Cheltenham's not been kind to us so far, mate, but like obviously you always gamble responsibly, so you don't go and blow your readies. Don't go and blow your readies on horses, so keep my money for the beer. The Dorada's only €2, mate, so it's all good.
Get yourself a pint of Heineken, me man, get some hair about that chest.
Heineken, no fan of that, man. No a fan of Heineken, man.
Telling you. But do give Granda Webby my best and Billy Potter my best when you see him.
I'll get either he'll kick my chockies, man.
You remember? By the way, remember I've said give him my best, no a vest.
I know one of the best.
No one of the best.
He was wanting me down in a bully in the room.
Aye, 100%. But thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Thanks for all your points and
Thanks a lot.
your views. And thanks to John for his video. We're doing that more often, folks. So if anybody wants to send us a video, you can do via social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, any one of those accounts. You'll get myself and Ryan. We're actual individual pages on those. And we're also there under the Celtic Unrestricted View. Anybody else that's maybe want to get in contact with us, if you want to do that video, if you don't want to come on live in the dial in the Monday night to speak to us, you can get in contact with us through the YouTube page on the community section of the channel. But for the time being, be back on Friday, as we say. So take care. Hail, hail. We'll see you all again.
Hail, hail.
Bye-bye.